When the facts bend reality, this is beyond plausible.
On the plains of Africa and the forests of Southeast Asia, far removed from human civilization and our familiar lives. Living in the wild, if you press your ear to the ground and sense the vibrations approaching, you can hear the sound of footsteps on the ground. It's very likely that a large creature is heading towards you. A creature of immense size, rare in history. A living legend, a gentle giant. The largest creature in the world. The elephant. Elephants are true giants. Adult elephants can stand up to 4 meters tall and weigh up to 7 tons. Elephants are the largest land animals on the planet today, and historically, only their long extinct ancestors were larger than elephants. That is the mammoth. Before that, there were dinosaurs. Elephants are the only surviving members of the order Proboscidea. Elephants evolved from their primitive ancestors about 60 million years ago, at the end of the Paleocene epoch. Before branching off into a separate lineage, the ancestors of elephants lived in the sea. They were aquatic mammals, closely related to today's manatees and dugongs. Modern elephants only appeared about 3 to 4 million years ago, around the middle of the Pliocene epoch. Today's elephants still retain a few small traces of their marine origins, such as anatomical structure, middle ear, and testes located in the abdominal cavity. Today, elephants are divided into 2 different genera: the African elephant genus and the Asian elephant genus. The Asian elephant genus, or Elephas, has a smaller body, smaller ears, a flatter convex back, smoother skin, and depigmented skin patches with rough bumps on the head. Meanwhile, the African elephant genus, also known as Loxodonta, is much larger, with larger ears, a concave back, a sloping belly, rough skin, and a smooth, flat head. African elephants are further divided into 2 species, forest elephants and savanna elephants. The differences between these 2 species are not significant. Forest elephants have a smaller body, nearly the size of Asian elephants. Forest elephant tusks are straighter, harder, and slightly pinkish. Each foot has more nails, and they have round ears. Savanna elephants are more famous. They are the typical image of African elephants. Elephants inhabit various terrains and diverse environments, from savannas, deserts, swamps, to grasslands, and lake shores. Even icy snow-capped mountains and vast tropical forests. Asian elephants usually live in thorny shrub forests, while African elephants prefer to live in wide grasslands or dense tropical forests. Elephants' diet consists entirely of plants, including leaves, grass, buds, bark, branches, roots, and fruits. The elephant's trunk is large, strong, and flexible, helping them pick, club branches and leaves, and bring them to their. Each day, elephants can consume up to 140 kilograms of food and drink up to 150 liters of water. Feeding activities occur mainly in the morning and afternoon. At noon, when the sun shines strongly, elephants rest under tree canopies or doze off while standing. Elephants' long sleep occurs at night. Called long, but in reality, it only lasts a little over 3 hours per day. Born with completely sterile intestines, while needing gut bacteria to break down and digest plants. This bacteria is obtained when young elephants immerse themselves and eat their mother's feces. Just like other giant herbivores, elephants evolved to this size to help them survive. with a diet of low-nutrient plants. Elephants move mainly using their legs while the upper body remains static, to compensate for the increase in body weight. And to give elephants additional height, helping them easily reach higher distant branches. Elephants' legs have grown longer and larger, while the feet have shortened and widened. The elephant's head has developed, with the lower jaw coordinating with the trunk. Composed of strong muscle bundles yet very flexible and resilient. The elephant's trunk can handle many tasks, including breathing, touching, grasping, and digging. Grooming themselves and others. The trunk can also function as a snorkel when elephants have to wade through a large body of water. Additionally, it gives elephants a good sense of smell, 4 times more sensitive than that of a bloodhound. The tip of the trunk has 1 or 2 finger-like projections that act like small fingers for more precise grasping. This is very important for the survival of elephants. Elephants cannot live long with injured, paralyzed, or too short trunks. For that reason, elephants have one of the largest skulls in the animal world to help support their heavy bodies. The thickness of the skull and the large tusks not only help elephants dig holes to find water, roots, or strip bark, but also serve as literal weapons in confrontations, partly for self-defense or to protect other elephants, partly for ritualistic fights with other elephants, especially among mature males. They often fight fiercely to maintain their position in the herd. Elephant skin is similar to the thick, tough skin of their aquatic relatives. Although elephant skin evolved to withstand high temperature, harsh environments, not to resist salt corrosion in seawater. At its thickest, elephant skin can be up to 2.5 centimeters thick. Elephant skin is usually gray in color. However, African elephant skin often appears dark brown because they frequently bathe in mud to cool down and protect themselves from the scorching African sun. After mud bathing, they use their trunks to blow dust onto their backs, and when the mud dries, it forms a protective crust. The 2 ears help regulate body temperature. On the ears are many small blood vessels called capillaries. The ears are the thinnest skinned part of the elephant's body, allowing body heat to dissipate easily into the environment. Heat dissipation is enhanced when elephants flap their ears. The larger the ears, the better elephants adapt to high-temperature environments. At birth, elephants often have patches of brown or red hair around the head or back. But as they grow, this hair gradually disappears. However, hair remains in some areas like the tail tip, chin, genitals, around the ears and eyes to protect vulnerable soft tissues from parasites and dirt. Thanks to their straight legs and leg distribution, elephants can stand for long periods without fatigue. The 2 front legs can support 60% of their total body weight. Unlike other quadrupeds, due to their massive weight, elephants only have 2 modes of movement: walking and a slightly faster walk that can be considered running. Thanks to thick pads made of fatty tissue in their feet, when elephants run, there is a bouncing effect allowing them to reach speeds of up to 18 kilometers per hour. While observing, it seems as if they are running on their front legs and generating relatively little noise. Elephants are also excellent swimmers. Science has recorded cases of elephants swimming continuously for 6 hours without touching land or the seafloor. S brain is relatively small compared to its body size. However, an elephant. The temporal lobe is considered responsible for analyzing sensory data to such an extent that it protrudes on both sides of the head. Similarly, an elephant's heart can weigh up to 20 kilograms but beats only 30 times per minute. Elephants live in a fish-and-fusion society. They often travel in large herds during seasonal migrations, but upon reaching a destination, smaller groups or individuals may separate. Elephants typically travel up to 19 kilometers daily. Some may travel 10 times more due to their high food requirements. Elephant herd structure is matriarchal. Each herd is led by an old female, followed by her offspring. The oldest female inherits the leadership position. Many herds combine into large groups for migration during the dry season. Sometimes 2 or 3 herds within a large group interact, forming affiliated groups. Asian elephant herds are usually smaller than African elephant herds. The life of a mature male elephant is quite different. Males typically live on the outskirts of a herd's territory. They frequently interact with other males in herds. Sometimes they are expelled from the herd, becoming solitary elephants or forming groups with other solitary elephants. They only contact other herds when females are in estrus, detectable by pheromones. Males easily recognize this with their keen sense of smell. Male elephants are considered mature from 15 to 20 years old. During this period, testosterone levels increase up to 60 times normal, boosting their reproductive ability. Additionally, their behavior becomes much more aggressive and combative. This is the musth period, often seasonal, marked by fluid secretion from temporal glands along the face, self-urination, head swinging, foot stomping, and threatening behavior, even toward females. In contrast, female elephant's estrus is not seasonal but occurs in regular cycles throughout the year. However, mating typically peaks during the rainy season when males are in musth. The first male to notice a female will follow and protect her from other males. Before mating, the male places his trunk on the female's back as a signal. Mating is brief and repeated until conception occurs. Elephant gestation is long. Each birth usually produces 1 calf, rarely twins. Pregnancy can last up to 2 years, with intervals between births up to 5 years. Calves are usually born at the end of the rainy season. Newborns are about 80 centimeters tall and weigh up to 120 kilograms due to the long gestation. They are well developed and quickly stand and follow the herd. Initially, the mother guards the calf strictly, not allowing any other elephants near for the first few days until the calf strengthens after nursing. The newborn is the center of attention for the herd. Adults and other elephants surround it, using their trunks to touch and caress the calf, fostering family bonds. Male elephants typically do not interact with their offspring. In some herds, adult females share the responsibility of caring for the calves. Young females often nurse and care for the calves until they are about 3 to 6 months old, then weaning begins. However, calves occasionally nurse to ensure healthy growth until about 2 years old. Calves are often playful and mischievous. Female calves chase each other, while male calves often play fight. Adults discipline calves by lightly tapping with their trunks, kicking with their feet, or sniffing gently. And touching the calf's tail or leg quietly is a way to calm it down. The primary method of communication between individual elephants is through physical contact. Regardless of age, when meeting, elephants often greet by stroking or entwining their trunks. They also touch each other's mouths, lick temples, and genital areas. Through this, they gather chemical information reflecting the other elephant's health status. Another method of communication is the roar produced by the larynx, sometimes modified when passing through the trunk. An elephant's roar sounds like a trumpet blast when they are agitated or in pain. To transmit information over long distances, elephants use infrasound waves. This call has a frequency ranging from 14 to 35 Hz. Elephants 10 kilometers away can still hear it thanks to their hearing ability that processes sounds down to 1 Hz. Another way of communication is through vibrations. Elephants stomp their feet rhythmically on the ground. The receiver slightly leans forward, shifting weight to the front legs, called the freezing posture. This posture helps transmit vibrations from the legs and shoulders to the middle ear through cartilage joints, similar to the sound transmission mechanism in toothed whales and seals. Elephants are quite intelligent animals. They can recognize their own reflection in a mirror. This ability is found only in some primates and whales. With their flexible trunks, elephants also know how to use tools, such as using branches to swat flies. Elephants also have remarkable memory. They can remember vast terrains they traverse during migrations. Elephants have a relatively long lifespan, often living up to 60 to 70 years. The longest-lived elephant ever recorded died at 86 years old. Due to their massive size, elephants have a significant impact on the flora and fauna where they live. Elephants can uproot trees, turning dense forests into grasslands within hours. Water holes dug by elephants often attract many animal species, because they frequently eat and travel long distances. They become ideal transporters for plant seeds. Many seeds in elephant intestines are carried everywhere. Many small animals also follow elephant migration routes. For example, baboons and other monkey species. Dung beetles do too. They eat undigested food in elephant dung. Adult elephants hardly have to worry about attacks from other animals, thanks to their large bodies, overwhelming any enemies. But young elephants separated from the herd easily become targets for predators like lions, hyenas, African wild dogs, and Asian tigers. However, the biggest threat to elephants is humans. African elephants are listed as vulnerable species. Asian elephants are seriously threatened. Their population has halved in the past 60 years due to habitat loss from deforestation. As well as illegal hunting. Meat, skin, and especially ivory are targets for poachers. Processed ivory is pure white, often used for piano keys, billiard balls, and other luxury items. Elephant. One-third of ivory is composed of materials similar to tooth pulp, with nerve fibers running along it. Therefore, ivory cannot be cut while the elephant is alive. This causes severe physical and psychological harm to the elephant. Today, ivory trade is only legal if the ivory is obtained from dead elephants. However, illegal hunting remains a pressing issue in the conservation of African and Asian elephants. In the past, some Indian populations made a living from trading ivory. Ivory and elephant meat smuggling gangs often organize poaching and kill many elephants. A significant number of elephants die when hunted as sport by wealthy hunters. Since ancient times, humans have domesticated and trained elephants mainly for entertainment. Today, elephants are still commonly seen in zoos and circuses. Although opponents say that keeping elephants in captivity is inhumane and harmful to them, training elephants also puts both physical and mental pressure on them. Even when kept in captivity by humans, elephants had a significantly shorter lifespan than those living in the wild. Elephants are also used by humans for work, transporting heavy goods to remote areas, or as transportation for tourists. Elephants are very useful because they require little care, are easy to train, and can work in harsh tropical climates where machinery and traditional vehicles cannot operate. Historically, elephants also participated in battles. Generals and kings often rode on elephants to command, while the elephants became giant fighting machines. The most famous case is probably that of Carthaginian general Hannibal, who crossed the Alps with a herd of 38 war elephants with the ambition of conquering Rome. Or like King Ptolemy of Egypt, who used Asian elephant armies to establish power throughout his kingdom. The punishment of being trampled by elephants was once applied by kings in Southeast Asia. Wild elephants are very difficult to control due to their unpredictable, aggressive, and fierce temperament, especially during muscle, causing many to go mad and attack people violently when provoked. Each year, mad elephants kill more than 100 people in India, and the number of deaths from elephant attacks worldwide reaches 400 people. Some elephant attacks on humans are believed to be revenge against hunters and residents who have hunted, killed, or abused other elephants. Although often seen as symbols of gentleness, patience, and noble virtues, it is their other unusual characteristics that have put them in their current endangered state, pushed to the brink of extinction. A new era is coming. There is no more room for the wild world. Although the future of elephants is not very bright, they still remain the majestic giants of the wild world today.
Curious? Subscribe and step through the next anomaly.